So this is an executive summary. The National Libertarian Army is a left-wing group that is currently involved in the Colombian conflict. The group has areas of operation in Venezuela and Colombia. ELN is classified as a terrorist organization by the United States, Peru, Colombia, Canada, Venezuela, and the European Union. The group was founded in 1964 by Fabio Vasquez Castano. It was led by a priest named Camilo Torres Restrepo after Castano's death. Restrepo was soon later killed after his first combat mission. In 1970s, National Libertarian Army had been defeated by several amount of times in military operations. It was Del Manuel Perez Martinez, a Spanish priest who helped ELN's rise to prominence. He was one of the most notable figures and instrumental in establishing their ideology. Over the next couple of decades, ELN survived the heavy fighting and civil wars against the Colombian National Army with some partial assistance from the Colombian president Alfonso Lopez Michelsen. The ELN ideology consists of communism, Marxism, and liberation theology. Since Martinez's leadership, they have shifted from their ideology. Their ideology was against kidnappings and participating in drug trades because they were seen as anti-revolutionary ideas, so therefore they did not engage in those activities. However, since the 1970s, which is when Martinez come to power, the group have involved those in legal activities. The New Liberation Army does not have a political objective. That the objective is to end their conflict with the Colombian government and provide protection assistance to the poor in the country. New Liberation Army strategies to target oil companies because of their wealth, identity, drain the country's natural resources. The strategy has changed over time. For years, they're trying to reach peace between Colombian government and the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. 2016, after negotiating peace with the Colombian government and Revolutionary Armed Forces of the Colombian ELN, shifted their focus on integration and demobilization. Common tactics used by ELN are guerrilla warfare, kidnappings for ransom, bombing, extortion, hijackings, and attacking infrastructures of small towns. The United States lists ELN as a terrorist group because of their armed attacks on Colombia's infrastructure. The group carries out their military operations by setting up fronts that cover several provinces across Colombia. The Heroes de Martyrs front operates between the provinces of Boyacá and Aruca. The Occidental Ernesto Che Guevara Front is present in the province of Chaco. The Guerribano Front operates in Barranquilla, Cucuta, Medellin, Barrancaramillo, Bogota, Ibagué, Cali, Popayán, Neiva. The Western War Front is also present in the province of Choco. Southwestern War Front is present in the province of Narina. Political operations. The group executes its peace negotiations and ransoms where there is a abduction. The group currently has around 2,500 fighters. Over the last few years, the number of fighters have fluctuated between 1,300 and 3,000 fighters. Eland does have a recruitment profile. When the group started out, they mainly recruited young activists and students, but as recently, children, adolescents, and minors are being recruited by the armed groups and being used in armed conflicts as well as subjecting them to sexual abuse. Human Rights Watch stated that children young as 12 are being recruited by armed groups. A report made by OPRA showed that during the years of 2017 2019, there were 311 cases of minors being recruited by armed rebels in 5 of Colombia's 32 provinces. The National Liberation Army was accounted for the majority of cases of 182. The study also showed a link between sexual violence and armed conflict. The study also stated that children being recruited are at high risk. The New Liberation Army does have a quite substantial amount of financial resources. Their two main financial resources are kidnappings from ransom and extortion. The other sources are robbing banks, participating in drug trade, and wealth acquired from oil pipelines that they have attacked. The ELN hasn't received foreign support from foreign nations, but have received some support from the Colombian government when they were trying to reach peace negotiations. The New Liberation's Army political objectives have been influenced by their ideologies. One of their ideologies is communism. Communism is based on common ownership between the people and the state, meaning that wealth, means of production are shared. Communism also does not include any type of social class or free market system. ELN believes that by attacking large successful companies, along with arranging peace talks with Colombia, they could redistribute the wealth amongst the poor. The group's tactics do not seem to match its strategic efforts. 2013, the ELN attacked an oil company in the province of Aruca and held three oil workers hostage, followed by several bomb attacks which shut down some of Colombia's oil and gas pipelines. This goes along their strategy of attacking oil companies that have identity and wealth, since the group receives mostly of their revenue from ransom extortion. It enables them to carry out large-scale attacks and it gives them the revenue for weapons and explosives. The New Liberation Army may has not much revenue sources that ISIS or Al Qaeda may have, but they have enough to stay in the game. Government forces will most likely undermine their political operations. The New Liberation Army have done almost every despicable act you can think of. They have attacked oil pipelines, they've raided villages, small towns, extortion, kidnapping, assassinations, and even crude children exploited into sexual violence while trying to advocate for peace with the Colombian government. This group is unpredictable and will have very challenging to any government locate in their next move, despite if any talks are successful in the next 5 years. As long as they are still active and planning attacks, no one has stopped their flow of revenue. The ELN will be an extension for quite some time. These are referenced.